GymShark was once one of the biggest brands in gym clothing, having a complete chokehold on the fitness industry. Everyone wanted their clothing, and it seemed like all fitness influencers ever talked about was GymShark. They were on top of the world.
GymShark is officially the UK's fastest growing company.
I cannot believe I'm stood here saying this, but GymShark is worth $1.4 billion.
But over time, things started to fall apart. In 2022, sales dropped. GymShark athletes like David Lade started leaving the company, and even their most loyal fans turned on them. Let's just say, it wasn't looking good for the company. But then, this past year, everything suddenly changed. GymShark had their most profitable year. Massive athletes such as Sam Sulek and Chris Bumstead signed with them, and people started supporting GymShark once again. So how did GymShark go from almost filing for bankruptcy to now being the biggest gym brand in 2025? It was all because of one person, David Lade, the man who single-handedly saved GymShark. But what did he actually do to turn things around? In this video, we'll break down how David Lade helped revive GymShark and what exactly went down. So subscribe and drop a like on the video. First, let's take this back to where it all started. GymShark began as a small fitness clothing company in the UK, founded by 19-year-old Ben Francis, who understood what gym-goers wanted. Quality gear that looked good but didn't break the bank. The brand quickly grew because it connected with its audience on social media and made quality products for an affordable price. Whether that was gym shirts, sweatpants, or even tank tops, they were the best in the market. For a few years, GymShark seemed unstoppable. Sales skyrocketed, and the brand became one of the biggest in fitness apparel worldwide. But then, things took a turn for the worse. As GymShark grew, the company shifted focus. Instead of putting their community first and focusing on creating the best products, business firms started investing in the company and forced GymShark to prioritize revenue, how much money they made. This meant chasing quick sales, pushing out low-quality products that didn't always live up to the hype, and even doubling the prices on many of their products. Some fans noticed what was happening. Quality was slipping, the company was becoming too corporate and less authentic, and their social media posts started feeling more like ads than genuine connections. Because of this, sales started to drop. The brand's most loyal fans turned on them, and competing gym brands began to catch up. GymShark was on a downward spiral. At one point it got so bad that former GymShark influencers like Alex Earl, Nathaniel Messiah, and others terminated their contracts and sued the company. GymShark's reputation was ruined, and they went from doing an estimated $40 million the previous year to barely making $10 million that year. They were on the verge of bankruptcy. But before we talk about how GymShark turned it all around, we need to talk about David Lade and why he left in the first place. David wasn't just another GymShark athlete. He was GymShark for a lot of people. When you thought about the brand, you thought about David. His transformation videos went insanely viral, and his connection with the fitness community was real. People didn't just follow him because of how he looked. They followed him because of how honest and relatable he was. But in 2022, out of nowhere, David left GymShark. He just quietly disappeared from the brand.
What I essentially want to tell you guys is that I'm formally no longer a GymShark athlete.
Fans started to notice, and pretty quickly, rumors started to spread. Some people thought it was because of a falling out with the company, others thought it was personal, but the truth was pretty simple. David didn't believe in the direction GymShark was heading.
Many of you have probably seen and feel that over the past few years, GymShark has strayed or gone away slightly from their original roots of what they were as a company.
The company that once supported creators and the fitness community was now acting more like a business than a brand. Quality was going down. They were choosing money over authenticity, and David didn't want to be a part of that. So he walked away. And for a while, that was it. GymShark was falling apart, and David was focusing on his own brand, doing YouTube, training, and staying silent about everything. But what nobody knew at the time was that he was planning something bigger behind the scenes. In early 2024, GymShark started teasing something. They were posting cryptic clips, old-school training montages, and even bringing back some of their OG branding from back in the day. People were confused. Why was GymShark suddenly acting like it was 2017 again? And then, out of nowhere, David Lade reappeared. He posted a video wearing GymShark gear again. Fans lost their minds. Comments were flooded with, "Is he back?" and "No way this is happening." The internet basically broke. Shortly after that, GymShark officially announced that David was returning to the brand, but this time, not just as an athlete. David was going to help rebuild GymShark. He wasn't just promoting clothes. He was working with the team, giving feedback on design, quality, and even how the company connected with the community. This was way bigger than a sponsorship deal. This was the comeback nobody saw coming. Right after David returned, everything started changing. GymShark stopped pumping out random low-effort collections. Instead, they dropped a limited line with David, and fans noticed the difference right away. The quality was better, the fit was better, and the launch didn't feel like a cash grab. It felt intentional. David made it clear that if he was going to work with GymShark again, things had to be different. The company listened, and it paid off. But it didn't stop there. David helped them get back to their roots on social media too. The brand started showing real lifters again, real gym sessions, and less polished ads. For the first time in years, GymShark felt authentic again. Sales started to climb. In just 1 year, GymShark went from almost going bankrupt to having their most profitable year ever. They signed new athletes like Sulek and Bumstead, dropped some of their most successful collections of all time, and completely revived their image online. But even with all these new faces, most fans agree, none of this would have happened without David Lade. He was the spark that lit the fire again, by standing up for what made the brand special in the first place: authenticity, community, and quality. David helped bring GymShark back from the dead.